Using the spill method of working out the timing, I've worked out that it's totally wrong. What you do with the spill method is you take off this injector thing here, like this top part, then you take off that, it says take off that one, then that one. Then you take out that spring and delivery valve. Then what you do is rotate the engine in the direction of like the way the engine goes, and because my fuel supply is higher than here, the fuel sort of drips out here, and then on the actual flywheel there's a mark just there that says spill, and when that mark is vertical it should stop dripping out there, and that's when it's injecting, when it's vertical. But mine, when it injects, is about there somewhere. So it's about, I don't know, halfway down the stroke when it's injecting, halfway after top dead center when it's injecting. So that's why it's not firing real well. So maybe I don't have to get a glow plug. Maybe it will just be the timing, because these engines actually didn't have glow plugs in them. They had the priming cups, like what I was explaining earlier in the video probably, or maybe I didn't. Well, you put oil in the cylinder to raise compression, and mine had just been replaced by the glow plug. So that's probably so hopefully that'll fix it if I fix the timing. So to fix the timing, what I've got to do is you can undo that and raise it and lower it, but that's not going to raise it enough to not might, I'll say. There's like a little screw in there, but I might have to undo this and move the camshaft gear a little bit. So first I'll undo this, and if that doesn't work I'll undo that, but first I'll drain the oil if I end up doing that. I ended up not needing to take off this cover here. I just adjusted the thing in there, so now when this mark on the flywheel here, that one just there, is vertical, and I blow into here and cover that one there with my finger, so I'll do it now. Fuel doesn't squirt out there, so that means that it's firing. That means that it would be injecting. But if it's say down over here and where it was before, it's about there, so that's probably all it was. Maybe someone fiddled with it. I know I certainly didn't touch it. And I didn't want to take this cover off because I knew the valves were timed pretty well actually. Like, they seemed to be opening and closing at the correct time. So now I'll put the cylinder head back on, or maybe I'll get a gasket made. I'll probably get a gasket made, then put it all back together, because it's a bit of a process putting that cover on's the hardest part really, the cover that goes over there. So I'll do that. I'll get a gasket, and hopefully it'll be up and running soon. Now that I've got it timed correctly, what I'm going to do is just put it together just enough so that I can get it running. Pretty much that's basically put everything on it except for this cover, because I hate putting that cover on. And because I don't want to get a gasket and then have to take the head off. So it should have enough compression without a new gasket, but yeah, I just don't want to have to compress it and then use it again, because you're not really meant to do that. So I put everything on it, try and crank it over and see if it starts, and then if it does, I'll take the parts off it and get a new head gasket made. I've put my engine out in the sun to try and heat it up. I might move that around. So now I'm trying to heat it all up so it'll ignite the fuel a bit easier. Because I haven't tried to put fuel and oil mixed down into the cylinder, but that's what I'll try and do after it gets hot. So leave it out here for a few hours, gets hot, and give it a crank, see if it starts. Probably won't. Then we'll see how we go. I'll just try and give this a quick start to see if it'll start. It's only been out here for maybe an hour.